back to another week of fantasy football, or as I like to call it, another week where Phill spirals deeper and deeper into despair and depression as the team he supports, Crystal Palace, break more and more records of being just the worst side in the history of the Premier League. Yeah, we'll get to that though, don't worry. First off, let's just have a look how we did. Well, we did badly. 46 points, but the average was 58, the high of 146. We're in the bottom half of players, so I'm doing really badly, I must say. But there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I'm just really bad at this. And number two, I think there was a couple of surprise results this week as well, which, you always take a gamble in fantasy football. There's no, surefire thing, apart from maybe Aguero against Watford. But you always take a gamble, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't think it's paid off once for me this season. But there you go. We've had some solid results here. I mean, the Man United guys did really well for me once again. That's the bulk of my points right there, isn't it? It's 24 points. So over half my points came from those three players. And Man United, as we can see, absolutely hammered Everton 4-0. Although, if we're being honest, was it really a hammering? Because it was 1-0 for 83 minutes. And that 1-0 was Valencia scoring probably the best goal he'll ever score in his life, and absolutely, I mean, if Alan Partridge was the commentator, he would say he's got a foot like a traction engine, because that was probably the sweetest strike he will ever hit in his life. Probably a sweeter strike many professional footballers will never hit in their lives, It was just 100%, couldn't do better, really. You can't really fault Pickford in goal for that one. It was just one of those goals, I think, where Valencia just kind of ran onto it and thought, yeah, I'll just smack it. It's the third or fourth minute, what the hell, and it just flew in. But Man United keep doing this, where they keep racking up these late goals. I think it's down to two things. Number one, Mourinho just has that attitude of he just keeps pushing his team constantly all the way through. And the other thing is, when you have people like Martial coming off the bench, he's getting points. He scored 3 goals in 5 games, but look how many minutes he's playing. Okay, apart from the Leicester game, he's played less than 20 minutes in every game. In fact, he played 2 minutes. That's minutes played, isn't it? Yeah, minutes played, 2 minutes, and scored a goal. I mean, you can't argue with that. But when you have players that good coming off the bench, Everton would give their right arm for a striker that good, just to be able to play in their first 11. Because, I mean, to be fair, that's where they're struggling. And then obviously you have Lukaku and Mkhitaryan. Did he come off the bench or no? No, he played. Okay. Yeah, so just good. And another clean sheet. I don't know how many clean sheets has De Gea got now. 4 out of 5. So only the Stoke game, when they conceded 2 goals, they conceded a goal. So 4 clean sheets out of 5. Look pretty darn good to me. Obviously Man City doing well as well, but that's the main reason why we got any points at all. Keane, obviously Everton defender on the other end of that hiding. Was never going to get any points, was he? Higazi did well, got a clean sheet and played 90 minutes for West Brom against West Ham in what was probably the most boring game ever. I didn't watch it, I'm just guessing that from the 0-0. Chola Bar continues to just get me 2 to 3 points a week. I should probably drop in and put someone else in, but it just seems quite a solid kind of couple of points. We'll see. Kante, probably, I took a bit of a punt on him. I thought Chelsea were going to beat Arsenal. I must admit, it was 0-0 in the end. Arsenal fans, of course, hailing that as if it was the the greatest result ever. No, but I mean, it's not a bad result to go to Stamford Bridge and draw 0-0. And to be fair, Arsenal's record against top 6 clubs is pretty poor. So, I actually couldn't begrudge them that. So, yeah, I don't think Arsenal have turned a corner got FC Con in midweek. Well, not that convincingly, but fairly convincingly. But they're 12th in the league at the minute, and I think they're going to struggle to get a Champions League place. I really do, unless they win the Europa League. I can't see that happening, but I could be wrong. Interestingly, if anybody did kind of see that, the Emirates Stadium was kind of invaded, shall we say, by the Germans. And there was like 20,000 or so FC Caen fans, or Cologne, I think it is, who turned up to the game, and they had like an allocation of 3,000 tickets. Now, some kind of media reports that there was fights everywhere, things like that, but there really, really wasn't. I think it was like 10 or 15 like drunk fans out of like 20,000, and other than that, I think it was very, very peaceful. And what people kind of didn't understand was that the club had been very much a yo-yo club for many a season, and then they had a fantastic season last year. I think they finished 5th. They got into the Europa League for the first time in like 25 years, and this was a huge event for their fans to be able to go to a big club like Arsenal and get to play. And it was kind of almost, they're thinking it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I think it was naivety on the point of Arsenal in a way, not to think that they would have so many fans turn up. But you never know, really. I don't know what went on, really. And I kind of know this because I was actually at work talking to a friend of mine about it, and then a customer came up and was like, "Oh, hey, I just overheard you talking about that game." I was there, and he was German, and he was a Cologne fan, and he was saying that it really was just like 10 or 15 people who were kind of like just a bit drunk outside. He said otherwise everyone was very peaceful in the stadium and just having a party atmosphere. And interestingly, I said to him like, "Oh, so were you in the away end or the home end?" And he said, "Oh, I was in the home end." I was like, "Okay." And I said, "So how did you get tickets?" And he said everyone was being really crafty and signing up for like Arsenal memberships and things like that to be able to get tickets there. So I guess they were being a bit sneaky with their tickets, I guess, but fair play anyway. I mean, they got a fantastic goal to begin with. Scored from about 45 yards out when the keeper left himself stranded, but I guess in the end they lost 3-1. But again, I don't think it's like they're not a great side. He was saying they've lost like every game this season. They are the Crystal Palace of the Bundesliga. And so it's not really indicative of a great Arsenal performance. It was probably more like a FA Cup game, really, of a Premier League side against a kind of Championship side sort of thing. But yeah, maybe, I don't know, Arsenal, I don't know. I'm always intrigued. I think like Arsenal are always that side where you look on paper and you go, that looks pretty strong. This season, I don't know. I just don't think they look very strong. But we'll see, won't we? So yeah, I thought Chelsea were going to beat them. I thought Morata would score. He didn't. That's the way things go. The other one which really let me down, Spurs Swansea. I genuinely thought Spurs were going to absolutely destroy Swansea. Swansea, to their credit, defended really, really well, and Spurs just couldn't find a way past them. And while I think Spurs will get top 4 this season, I don't think they're going to challenge for the league if they can't win those home games against so-called lesser sides. Then I don't think they're gonna be able to challenge. So, we'll see. I mean, sure, clean sheet. I guess they didn't lose it. That's good, but we will see. Man City here, Aguero with a hat-trick. I think he's got like 9 goals in like 6 games or something ridiculous like that. He obviously got just an absolute stack. He got 20 points. If you had triple capped him on it, you had 60 points just from him. I don't know if I spoke about it last time, but I would quite like to have him in my team, but I'm just wary of whether or not Pep is going to play him all season. Now, I think there's no argument he's going to play him. Jesus is going to play alongside him all season. I don't know. I hope so, because they look really, really, really good together. And they just demolished Watford like they were nothing, basically. This is the thing, when Man City are in that mood and when they play, they are unstoppable. But I don't know. For me, at the minute, it's looking like it's going to be a Man City, Man United 2-horse race for the league. But it's still really early yet, so you don't know, do you? Really? Who else got me points? Redmond for Southampton. We'll come to that in a minute. And that was really about it, actually. I think in the other games we have Newcastle against Stoke. Newcastle getting a good result there. Stoke, a side who I think are going to suffer. I just really feel like they're going to... I kind of was hoping they would have the English Premier League table. There we go. Stoke, I don't know. I feel like sometimes with Stoke they're going to struggle a little bit. They might be down this end of the season, as we go forward. But yeah, look at Arsenal in 12th. I mean, don't get me wrong. Between them and 4th, which is Newcastle. I did not realise Newcastle were 4th in the league. Wow, well done, Newcastle. Fair play. But yeah, there's only they could be 4th after the next game, so it's still too early to be silly. And Liverpool up there with Huddersfield and Burnley, you would expect those two to drop down a little bit, but the same with Newcastle. But fair play. There we go. Back again. So I guess the one to talk about. Oh, Bournemouth Brighton, by the way. I didn't have any players from that one. Or Huddersfield Leicester. Oh, Liverpool Burnley. I got rid of my Liverpool players because I dropped Mane. Kind of glad about that. I did think of putting Sane in, but not Sane, Salah, who did score, but he did get 10 points, I guess. So that was a mistake. I went for Kante instead, I think. But there we go. What can you do, eh? Anyway, but Bournemouth getting a win, so well done Bournemouth. Actually, that's a really good win on there. That's probably a decent draw for both those sides, and that's a terrible result for Liverpool. But Burnley are a really good side, though. Actually, saying that, I think underrated, definitely. Anyway, let's talk about this one. Crystal Palace against Southampton. Crystal Palace setting the record for worst start to a Premier League season ever. Setting the record for not scoring for the longest time at the start of the season as well. Roy Hodgson's first match in charge, majority of people saying that they looked worse than they did with De Boer in charge now. That's probably understandable because Hodgson will now take a few games to change to his style, because that will be very different to how De Boer wanted to play. The one plus, Loftus-Cheek, I think is looking really good. A lot of people saying that he has been just the outstanding player for Palace this season. When I say outstanding, it doesn't particularly mean that he's been, the Lukaku of Crystal Palace. It just means he's actually looked like he can play football, whereas the rest of them, not quite. Without a doubt, we miss Zaha, who's been injured since the first game of the season. But if your side which relies on one player, then you're asking for trouble there and then. I don't know where we go from here, really. Hodgson is not my first choice for manager. He's not even my second, third, or probably 10th choice to be manager. But if he keeps us up, I guess. Part of me just thinks now, we'd be better off going down. I just don't know where we go from here, really. It's such a weird situation because we haven't addressed areas where we needed a new goalkeeper. Everybody knew that Hennessy is not a good enough goalkeeper for a Premier League side. We lost Mandanda because he just didn't settle, which is fine. buy another goalkeeper, and I don't know why. I don't know why. We didn't strengthen enough in the team. Yes, we got Sacco in. Sacco won't be back for a few games, but otherwise we brought youngsters basically in loan signings. We brought one youngster. We brought two players. They got two loan signings in. I mean, it's from a team who was very, very close to being relegated last season. That's not good enough. It's easy to say now. Oh, I think I said last week though. I think De Boer should have been given a bit more time. But then again, I don't know what went on behind the scenes. And I don't see us staying up at this point. Obviously, it is still early. We are 5 games into the season. Of 38. So there are still 33 games to go. Okay, so but if you lose every single game and you do not score, and you have Man City in your next game, it's not looking good, is it? And Man City coming off a 6-0 win. I mean, it's I don't know. I think if this was a Football Manager save, I would have quit and restarted by now. Put it that way. It's not looking good, is it? I mean, the squad we have now I think it can be good enough to stay up, but it relies on 3 other teams being worse than us. Like, the best we as probably Crystal Palace could hope for now is finishing 4th from bottom. I just want to score a goal. That would be nice. So yeah, it's not good. Sometimes a team comes up, and we think about in the past. Some of you watching may not be old enough to remember, but there were teams like Derby who came up and set the worst record, for points, and you've had teams like Sunderland who have just been terrible in previous years. Or sometimes teams come up and they've looked really bad. I think the shocking thing about this is Crystal Palace didn't look that bad last season. Under Allardyce, we looked like we had this, albeit kind of not your ticky-tacky kind of passing, but we had a style, we had an identity, we had this team who looked decent and looked like they would be trouble for other teams. And at the minute, we just got nothing. I can't blame Sam Allardyce for leaving. At the end of the day, if he didn't want to be a Football Manager anymore, then fair play to him. I've always been people have always kind of said the thing about Sam Allardyce is he usually does very well to begin with football clubs, maybe a season, maybe a season and a half, but after that things can start to go a bit downhill, and they just kind of results in this kind of drivel. So I'm not the person who's going to sit here and say, oh, I think we would have been absolutely fine with Allardyce, he would be perfect, he would be brilliant, but we'd be in a better position than we are now, without doubt. But then again, the same could be said if we were able to hang on to Tony Pulis, or when you look at Crystal Palace, something's going on, because at the end of the day we've had at the beginning it was God, I can't remember his name now. Holloway, sorry. God, that just went from mind. Ian Holloway. We got promoted. Holloway basically had a breakdown because he didn't think we were going to get promoted, and then this pressure came on him. We managed to stay up because we got Pardew, I think. Then Pardew ended up getting sacked, and we got in Pulis. I think this is the way it went anyway. Then Pulis left after saving us, and or was it the other way around? I can't even remember now, it seems so long ago. But anyway, the point is that we've only actually sacked 2 managers, the rest have just left. And I think maybe you have to look at that and go, why does everyone keep leaving? Is there some problem in a setup? because I feel like Sam Allardyce to just walk away and be like, I don't want to be a manager anymore, is weird, to say the least. Maybe he had some health problems or something we don't know about. I don't know. Hopefully he didn't. But I don't know. It's just I just find something weird about it, the whole situation. And you know, maybe, as I said, next up we've got Man City. The game after that we've got Man United. The game after that we've got Chelsea. What? Oh my god, who we got after that? Newcastle away. Even that's a hard game. Like, we are going to set records here, guys. We are going to set records. Put all your money on those games because, Jesus Christ. Man City, Man United, Chelsea. Yeah, we're getting relegated. Anyway, let's have a look at the rest of the fixtures next time. So, West Ham Spurs. You know, I got a feeling I'm going to drop some of these Spurs players because they're just not doing it for me. I could probably put in some Man City players because they're going to be doing it for me. Chelsea, I think, will do quite well against Stoke. Liverpool, Leicester, that's a tough one. Arsenal, West Brom, that's an interesting one. I don't think I would be tempted to bet on Arsenal for that either. So I think maybe what we'll do, if we go to the transfers, I'm thinking of maybe dropping Kane. And let's put in Aguero. Chelsea, we said, have got the Stoke away, so I think Morata we leave. And do I want to keep? Yeah, I'm going to keep King for Everton. I would like maybe to get in David Silva then as well. I would like to get in Jesus as well. This is going to cost me points, but I think from a point of view now, I'm just looking at the future rather than the now. I've still got 3 million, so I could drop Redmond and then put in someone good. Mkhitaryan, how much? I've got 9.9. Mkhitaryan's looked very good for Man United, but I'd have too many Man United players, so I can't have him. I think I said this last week actually. Martial as well. See, I can't have 4 up front, unfortunately, otherwise I would do. Salah, Ericsson, Watford. I'm going to go for Salah. I think he's going to score. I think he'll score. Do I think he'll score? I don't know. Oh God. Midfielders, who else have we got? De Bruyne. How much? I've got 9.9. Sod it. Let's just stack up with Man City players. They're going to absolutely wallop us. Okay, we're going to lose 8 points, but that's okay. Okay, we'll play the free hit. Why not? No, we didn't lose 8 points. That's good. Okay. Definitely Aguero, De Bruyne, Silva. Yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, guys, let me tell you something. Man City are going to wallop Crystal Palace.